Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. I want to show you something. Typically when I show up at my customer's home, let's say it looks like they hit Chewbacca from Star Wars and they've got bug guts all over the place. There's fur, there's shells, there's legs, there's blood. Typically what most of us are going to do is take a power washer, take some type of garden hose with our favorite nozzle and blow off all the shells, the wings, all that good stuff. And what you're going to find behind is this stuff here, these little, like the blood that's still stuck to the chrome, the blood that's still stuck in the guts to the plastic lens. It's all over this chrome area. Let me set you down and let me show you what I found about 2 or 3 months ago, and I want to share it with you. Are we focused? Probably not. Let me try to get that in better view, okay? So we're kind of like that. Now, I went to Auto Geek and I went to Detailed Image. I already know what they offer as far as bug removal, but I was interested in what they had. They tell me I can use a clay bar or a clay mitt, and I need a clay lubricant to do that. Okay, not really interested in doing that. I can get a bug sponge. You guys all used a bug sponge before. It's a little nasty, it's a little aggressive, it could scratch the paint. I don't like those, so I'll skip that one. Then we got a company like Sonac who has an insect remover at $12.99, but it's a fluid. So when I spray it, the fluid will run to the ground. Okay, not the most effective way, but that's professional products for you. Then we've got Poor Boys that makes a bug squash for 16 ounces at $10.99. I've actually used this stuff. It's okay. They claim it to be LSP safe, but guess what? You got to work with it pretty quickly because a lot of the fluid's just going to fall on the ground and you're going to waste your money. Then there's McGee's 37, who has a roadkill at $17.99, also a spray, a fluid. I think for $17.99 and using bug removals from my industry so often, I think I'll skip that one. That's way too expensive. Then Griot's has a bug and smudge remover. It's also a fluid. You spray it, half of it falls on the ground for $14.99. Then they recommend, how about an APC, like Meguiar's All-Purpose Cleaner or Super Clean or Super Degreaser. Those are all great, right? But you got to work with it when you're sitting here at the vehicle, and you don't want that stuff to dry on the paint. And again, it's a fluid. It's going to fall to the ground. Let me tell you something, folks, and I don't know why my industry doesn't do it. They don't think outside the box, but I've got bug guts all over this chrome area, and I've got all these little intricate parts that I got to try to get to. Yes, I have citral. Some of you guys have watched my video about that. I will use that if I have to. But what I found on a retail level, folks, is unbelievable. Get a load of this stuff. It's Turtle Wax. Turtle Wax Power Foam Bug and Tar Remover. First of all, its ability to remove tar is horrible. They also say it can remove sap. Forget that too. Unless you just watch the sap drop on your car, you might get lucky. But what's so great about this stuff, folks, for $3.99 is what I paid for it at Walmart. And when I bought this stuff, I was so embarrassed. I had to go to the front counter with it like tucked under my shirt. When I got to the register, I felt like I was making a drug deal, telling the lady, scan it through the machine and throw it in the bag. I don't want anybody to see me buying this stuff. But watch the way this stuff works. What I'm going to do is, because I got this bug guts all over the place, I'm going to shake it. It's a spray, it's a foam, it's going to cling. And I can get into all these little areas that my APC would not be able to do for me, because if I try to spray it in those little nooks and crannies, it's just going to fall to the ground. I'll do this front bumper area, get it all over the place, right? Now, I am not saying that you just simply have to spray this stuff on and then rinse it off. It's going to take those blood guts away. Bug guts. It's not. But what's really great about this stuff is that it's beginning to dwell. I can leave it on the surface of the car, on the front panel, for 3 to 5 minutes. Turtle Wax says it's completely fine. I have done it. I have not seen any issues with leaving it on the panel for that long. You would never do that with a APC. That would just be a no-no. But this stuff is sitting there clinging. Let me put a little bit more here where I missed some areas, right? I got so much product available to me, it's so cheap, I'll spray some more on there. But I'll begin to wash the car, and when I get to this area here that's got all the bug guts, what this cleaner has been able to do is be able to break down that bug guts for me in the couple of minutes it's been sitting there. I will then take my favorite wash mitt, because I'm washing the car anyway, and I'll come to the front of this vehicle and I will lightly go across the surface with all those bug guts that were there, all the blood. I'll go across the panel real gently, and what I'll notice is that the bug guts will just disappear. Because I'm using my wash mitt with my soap, this is helping me be able to remove it. Because the turtle wax cleaner had a chance to dwell, it didn't fall on the ground, it stayed where I needed to be, it can go after all this stuff, and I don't have to be. Have you ever found yourself just trying to use the wash mitt and soap alone, and you get to the front of your grill or the front of your car and you want to remove that blood, you want to remove the blood and all that guts? You hope nobody's watching, you don't want somebody to see you go over the panel over and over and over again. This stuff will break down the blood, so it's much easier after 3 to 5 minutes of dwelling, because it can actually do that, cling to the surface. You'll come across this stuff and you'll just lightly go across the grill. You don't have to scratch anything. The blood and guts will come off so much easier. There's been times when I show up in my customer's home and it looks like Chewbacca was hit from Star Wars by my client. I won't even knock the shells off with a garden hose or a power washer. I'll just spray that stuff all over it, and then when I come with my power washer to spray it off, I'll have very little blood left and I can get it off with my wash mitt. You can go either way with it, you decide. Folks, you know, how silly is it that professional products can't figure out to give us something that clings to the surface to be able to break down that blood and guts. Give us some time, buy us some time. By the time we get up here with our favorite wash mitt, we don't have to be overly aggressive and we can just take the stuff off. We're not losing the product when we spray it on it and it drops to the ground. At $17.99 for McGee's 37 Roadkill? What are you kidding? I don't want to lose half my product on the ground. That costs too much money. Turtle wax, the little turtle I've been beating up for years. This stuff is exceptional if you use it right. If you use it in that scenario, give it time to dwell. It'll make the process of removing the bugs so much easier. Love you all. Talk to you soon.